I want you to know this. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You've just been telling yourself that now's not the right time. But what if the moment you've been waiting for never actually comes? What if waiting is the very thing that's holding you back from what you want? Today's video is about something that's robbed more dreams than failure ever could. And that's waiting for the perfect moment. If you've ever filled your time with busy work or just told yourself that I just need to get this one thing done, then this video is for you. We're going to talk about why we do it, what it's costing us, and how we can start to move on today, even if it's not perfect. Let's talk about why we wait. Well, the fact of the matter is, it seems safer to plan than it does to crack on with it. What feels like being more careful and making sure everything's right actually just slows you down on anything that you want to do. And I promise you, I know this because I've done it myself. Because what happens is the more we plan and the more we think we're getting near perfect, what it actually does is hides our fears. Because we want to do these things, and yet we're scared that what we do is going to make us look like a failure. It's going to make us look stupid. We're going to feel embarrassed because we didn't do enough or do it correctly. And we're frightened that people are going to talk about us. It's a sad fact, but it's true. And when we look around us and we talk to people, they'll say to us, wait until the time is right. But the problem is, there is never a right time. We say that we're waiting for the right time and people would tell you exactly the same. But the trouble is, the right time just doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come through your door and say, hey, it's the right time, you can get started now. Here's the fact of the matter. What we find ourselves doing is being busy, doing stuff. But we're just doing stuff for the sake of something to stop us doing the actual scary stuff of the things that we know we need to do. And what's more, when you get over the age of 40, you've got more responsibilities, more chance of things actually going pear-shaped if you don't get it right. And you get that feeling that there's less room, there's less margin for error, if you like. So the fear of getting it wrong can be paralysing. And that's the reason for many of us that we just stay busy doing stuff to avoid it. If you're here for the first time, welcome along. My name's James. And on this channel, I talk about real life, the lessons that we learn from life. It's a channel for those who've lived a bit, lost a bit, definitely, and are now ready to take control of their life once again and move forward. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So let's talk about what the cost actually is of not doing anything. Because there is a cost, certainly emotionally and mentally. And then there's also one for the inaction of it. Let's start off with time. Because after all, it flies by. Time goes and we can be doing other stuff. And like I said, we tend to get busy doing things rather than do the stuff we need to. And all the time that you're doing that, you are using up the time you have left. Now, I'm not sounding defeatist or miserable about it, but the fact is, once time's gone, it ain't coming back. And the longer you put something off, well, it gives you less time to actually get there. So not only do you miss out on the time that you're losing, but you miss out on opportunities, you know. Opportunities in the workplace, in your love life, and in your personal development as well. And why? Because you're not focused. You're just plodding along. And I know this because I've done it myself. Let me give you an example. You know when you're looking for a new car and you've got this car in your mind, as you're driving along the road on your day-to-day business, all of a sudden you start to realise how many of that car there is. You see them every time you turn the corner. Oh, look, there's another one. And you're driving around, oh look, I know there's another one there. And that's because we're focused in on it. So just imagine how many opportunities you lose out on because you're not focused. And here's another one, regret. Now regret builds slowly. And I know this because, like all the others, been there, done that and got the t-shirt. But it grows slowly, and you start to think about it more and more and more, the things you regret in your life. And when you put things off, you can be, like I said, busy. And you'll get to a stage where you'll look back and regret the time you've wasted. For people like me, it can be years. And that you really don't want. This life's here for all of us to have the things that we want and to enjoy the time that we have. And all the time we put it off, it just builds regret. And along with that regret comes a lack of confidence. Because when you don't try things in your life, when you don't do anything to stretch out of that comfort zone, what actually happens is that comfort zone gets smaller. It doesn't stay the same size. When you put off doing things that you know you ought to do, or you feel you ought to do anyway, what happens is you lose confidence in yourself, and that area just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And the way to build confidence is by action. It's actually doing something, because as you step out of your comfort zone, as you step into that world that you find is a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit daunting, when you achieve something each time, your comfort zone expands and you feel good about yourself. That's the biggest key. And once you feel good about yourself, oh man, it's a different world. So we've talked about the things that we lose. We talked about the cost of what it is for losing it. So what is actually the next step for us? Well, the fact is, you don't have to be ready. You just have to be willing. Here's the big thing. Start small. I talked about this in the last video. Just take one step. And when you've done one step, take another. Work out what it is you've got to do and start with the smallest thing. Because to get this journey going, if you don't take a step, it's never going to start. So once we've started small and we start to take those first little steps, it will build your confidence. It may not be a lot, but just a tiny bit. Because each time you make a step, it will make you feel better about yourself because you know you're actually doing something. And then as you actively move forward and you develop that consistency, what that consistency gives you is momentum. And the momentum will build. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a hill. As you push it, it's small, and then as it rolls, more clings to it, more snow clings to it, and it gets bigger and bigger. So it gets to the bottom of the hill, and it's a massive snowball. And that's what happens when you take that little step and build momentum. And like I said on this trip that we're going to go on, when you take those steps, they're not looking for perfection. You're just looking for good enough goals to just get you to your next stage. You don't have to be perfect, because the perfectness is what's going to hold you back. Let's take a look at where you are right now. Now, watching this video, you may think to yourself, oh, I've wasted time. Well, let's forget that. Where you are now, you're not behind. You're exactly where you are meant to be right now, because you're watching this video, because you've watched this far in. It tells me that you're ready for the next steps. But the thing is, staying where you are right now that you know, isn't going to help you. You know the way you've got to go, don't you? If you've been waiting for a sign to tell you that it's time to move on to where you really wanted to go and what you wanted to do, well, let me be your sign. Now is the time for you to start. Like I said to you, you don't have to do it all at once. You just have to take that first step. Just do what you need to do to begin. And once you've done that, do one more step. And that's really the secret. Just keep doing one more thing. If this video's hit home to you, maybe share it with someone you know, because they may be thinking the same things as you, but haven't really thought about it deeply enough yet. There is a future for all of us. We deserve more. Stick with me as you're going on your journey, because on a weekly basis I'll share information with you, some of which will help you move on to the next step. If you've not done it yet, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, because I can be your running mate as you go on your journey and provide you with the information that you need to take that next step. And if you don't want to live your life with the handbrake on, click on that video there and we'll talk about why you shouldn't. I'll see you.